have such sights to show you.
You are all going to die tonight.
Good evening, my sweet, tortured souls. And first things first, Jimmy, never let me go out drinking again.
Well,
I took a
sounds like
week
plenty
off to
to
let
do.
I took a week off to let my hair down and my hair hit the floor.
Yeah, definitely hit the floor.
So, yes, good evening, everyone. Welcome to a still recovering from a night out episode of Miss Violet's Underworld, Deeper and Darker. Joining me, as always, the man who never looks good in a banana hammock, the speaker, Jimmy Lee Clifford.
Hey, oh, hey.
How are you?
I'm doing fine. Well,
You were sober that night, you're lucky.
I was sober that night, and then obviously, like, who did you give the memo to about last week?
I handed it to Scully with then remembering that they don't have hands to hand things over to you. So
Uh,
there was the miscommunication in the
yeah,
channel.
we got introduced to your lovely sister, who then
Yes.
obviously who clearly had a bad influence on you and took you out for a party night.
Well, we had a new arrival to deal with, and this one was, we'd been waiting a while for this one.
It did help because I got the pineapple merit badge look.
Yes, exactly. You survived your first pineappling.
I didn't receive it. I gave
That's what
it.
I meant, viewing of.
The viewing of the pineapples was good.
Yes, yes. It's not how they can them normally, but
No, I did not know you could can them in such a fashion.
But moving on with tonight's episode, we're going to go over to the screams of the damned from the comment section. And we only have the one from our We're Back Nightmare on Elm Street episode. And it is from Gaptooth Tony Harris, the Calico Crichton himself, Mr. Tony Harris from the Retro Movie Zone. And he says, hi guys, great opening episode about a franchise I find to be a bit hit and miss. Love the originals, and as you say, it's quintessential 80s horror, and for me, faultless. Yes, I agree. Freddy's Revenge took things a step further gore-wise, and for that I enjoyed it. For some reason, the homoerotic subtext went straight over my head. Oh, you were young, innocent Tony then.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Younger. Gonna hate me for this. Anyway, I got the whole locker room thing, but I didn't for 1 second consider it was one of the gayest movies ever. Years on, I started to read about it and then totally got it. Are you aware of the documentary Scream Queen My Nightmare on Elm Street, which looks at the legacy of the film and Mark Patton's experience working on it? Definitely worth a look if you can get a hold of it. I'm pretty sure I've seen at least half of it because I do remember watching some of it, and I think it may have been like clips of it on YouTube,
yeah.
but I'm not 100% certain. So if I can
That,
find it, I'm definitely going to give it a watch.
that may or may not have been the one that, in my very quick research, had slipped. The name had slipped my mind that it was on about.
Right, there we go.
So
There we go.
yeah,
Anyway, where was I? Yes. Dream Warriors is also my favorite of the franchise. I was working at the video store in Stapenhall when it was released on VHS. The guys that ran the store took me to a screening of the movie in a cinema in Birmingham to celebrate its release on VHS. I came back with a poster and all sorts of merchandise, sadly, none of which I still have, apart from the quad poster, which is in the spare bedroom on the wall. We attempted to watch the whole franchise on Blu-ray a couple of years ago, but gave up after the fifth installment. dare I say, I found most of the movies after Dream Warriors a bit boring, aside from a few scenes. That was kind of
Yeah, that was our take on
that was
it.
kind of our take on it, wasn't it? We
Yeah.
were very much just like, oh, the first three are very good.
Yes.
The second three, up to number seven,
It's that flappy. There's
yeah,
just
it goes
up and
downhill quick,
down.
especially number six. Number six is
Yeah,
more cartoonish
yeah.
than serious horror, and I got a laugh out of it, but I would not consider it a horror movie by any stretch of the imagination. But then they pulled it back with number seven, and then screwed the pooch with the remake. But
Yeah.
let's get back to the comment section. I wouldn't mind giving that journey another go now, though, and I may just do that. As for the remake, I've never even tried to watch it due to all the negative reviews I've listened to and read about it. Maybe now is the time. Really enjoyed the episode, guys, and it's brilliant to have you both back. My Saturday mornings haven't been the same without you. Can't wait for the next episode. Well, jump on that then, Tony, because Scarlett traumatized Jimmy for an evening.
Yeah. Just for an evening.
Bless her deranged little
I
heart.
learned my lesson about playing with keys.
Yes, don't play with keys that you find in store cupboards. If they're in a store cupboard, it means we don't use them for a reason,
They're
Jim.
stored for a reason.
You don't know what door you might unlock.
No,
That one is the sort of door you do not want to unlock. I hope you've learned
just a little.
just a little. Good. But that is it for the shout outs.
Yes.
Moving on with the flesh peeling hooks of tonight's episode. Not that we're doing Hellraiser, but this was originally going to be a Lovecraft inspired episode. But then during our conversations and our visual choices, we struck upon a conversation. Isn't it funny how a lot of main starring actors in horror movies play side characters in Star Trek?
Yeah.
So then we wondered, I, I wonder if there's films that go the opposite way, where you've got the main cast from Star Trek playing side characters in horror movies, or side characters in Star Trek being the main ones.
Yeah.
There's a reason for this one. But up first, because like I said, this did start out as a Lovecraft episode, and this is billed as H.P. Lovecraft's Reanimator. Was originally released October 18th, 1985. I was just a year-old little baby.
Tiny little horns.
Yes, they were tiny,
Tiny little horns.
just a baby. But the budget was somewhere between 900,000 and 1.3 million. That was the numbers I found online. It was a little bit, we're
Yeah.
not sure. The box office, however, was 2 million. So not a flop, but
Nope.
not a roaring success. But it did go on to garner cult status and popularity and spawned two sequels and some, I want to say, spiritual follow-ups. We found them on Prime. They're more like fan films. They don't have the original cast.
Yeah.
It sort of brings the universe of Reanimator together with another one, but we'll get to that a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get to that later too.
Starring Jeffrey Combs, David Gale, Barbara Crampton, and Bruce Abbott. Now, for those of you who don't know, for those of you who might not have seen this film, I'm not going to spoil the entirety, but there will be spoilerish bits as we talk about it. The general premise of this film is there is a young doctor by the name of Herbert West who, after an incident in Germany, is now serving out.
Started it, German scientist.
Yes, he's not German, but he starts off in a German school. Due to an incident that happens there, he now has transferred over to Miskatonic University to continue his studies into what he calls reagent. Basically, it's this bright green glowing fluid that looks like a predator blood sample.
Yeah.
That if you inject it into something that is dead,
It's
comes
no longer
back
dead.
to life. It is reanimated. Hence the title, Herbert. Well, H.P. Lovecraft's. Getting tongue tied.
Freudian slip.
I'm getting tongue tied. I'm still recovering. Fuck you. I'm
It's
blaming you.
okay.
You let me drink this much. It's partially your fault.
Hey, you're an adult. You know what your limits are.
I may be an adult, but I lack self-control.
Clearly.
My string of ex-partners should fucking tell you that. All 17,000 of the fuckers. Anyway, moving on. Yes. So basically, he's at the university to continue studying his reagent. He comes across another doctor, and wackiness ensues from there inward with not the greatest practical effects of a reanimated cat,
No.
but it adds to it because this is a Lovecraft film.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you have to suspend disbelief. So those more outlandish things don't stand out, and it kind of leads into that more comic booky feel. So I love this film. Jimmy saw this for the first time in 2025. So give us the spiel, Jimmy. What did you think of seeing Reanimator for the first time in 2025? Does it hold up or is it a flop?
I first come across this many, many moons ago. Peruse it. It's like the poster art really, because it's that bright green
Yes.
reagent and the crazy wackiness of what's going on. Oh,
Yeah.
this looks like an interesting film, and I'm glad we got round to it because yes, this is a very good film for what it is, and it is very loosely based on Herbert West.
Very, very loosely.
Very loosely. This is the first time because it is in the background. I
Yes, he
do
did
have a
the
copy
books.
of H.P. Lovecraft's various works, a number of them.
Yes.
Sadly, there is one of them that we will talk about, but that ain't in there.
Okay, let's carry on.
But the Herbert West, the book is somewhat better. It is
Of course, it always is in these
it
circumstances,
is in these
but
circumstances. The original book is somewhat better. It does take its time, and that this film, though,
just go straight into it.
it does get straight into it, and it for its runtime, it gets you right where you need to be with it as well. It goes really hammer on. Practical effects aside, most of them seem really well done, and then there are
The
some
zombie, well, I say zombie, the reanimated makeup effects on a lot of those are chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Like I said, the one that lets it down for me, but it's not lets me down in a negative way. It's just you can tell.
Yeah.
Is the cat.
Yeah.
Like I said, that kind of just adds to the comedic,
dark
comedic undertone this film is aiming for.
It does, yeah. It's still a good effect, but it is the one that probably lets this film down.
Although I do like West's line in that. It's got a broken back. What do you want it to do?
Yeah, like backstroke. You need to backflip. You want it to do gymnastics.
It's got a broken back.
Yeah, it is. This is a very good film. I would highly recommend watching it even today.
The reason why we chose this film is Jimmy gets to show off his Hunya Geek is showing knowledge over here. We chose this film because Jeffrey Combs was famous in Star Trek for playing a character by the name of Woon.
Among others.
But we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Yeah, that was my first encountering of Jeffrey Combs. So seeing him playing a vastly different character is good as well.
It was this film that made us have the conversation of like, wait a minute. Yeah. There's a lot of horror actors that pop up in Star Trek. What about the opposite way?
Yeah. So this was the one that it was this one. You picked this one. We picked another one.
Yeah, because we were
And I'm
doing
like, hang on, there's a pattern here.
yeah, and that was it was watching this one that when we got to the end of this one, we were like, I think we should switch this up, not make it a Lovecraft. This should be
Yeah.
a
Not
when it
total Lovecraft. I mean, there is still definite Lovecraft
shush, shush,
influences
shush,
there.
shush, don't spoil it for everyone.
I'm trying not to.
But yeah, we just thought we'd switch things up and see what happens when you take Star Trek actors and drop them into horror movies.
Yeah.
So we went with this one to start off with. But for me, this is one of my all-time favorites. It's one of the first horror movies that I can really remember seeing like trailers for it on like late
Yeah.
night TV as I was like going downstairs to get like a drink of water and things like that. And it caught my attention. And weirdly enough, because of some of the little clips they've done of Jeffrey Combs in those trailers, I was like,
Ooh.
hello.
Yeah.
I like the look of this character.
Yeah.
I want to know more. What's with the green stuff? What's with the glowing green
He
syringe in
really
his
does
hand?
know how
Like,
to, yeah, he really does know how to make a character his.
yes.
He's
And
very good at that.
yeah, so as soon as I could get hold of a copy of this film, I sat and I watched it several times over. And then when I found out there was an extended cut of the film, I got a hold of that and I watched that
Yeah.
repeatedly for several weeks, so to catch all the new stuff. So
It is kind of meant as a comedy horror as well, though to be honest,
kind of.
it does seem to lean more into the horror.
I think it's more dark comedy where you've
Yeah.
got to have a twisted sense of humor
Yeah.
to kind of get like the stuff with
Yeah.
the cat and some of the zombies and the severed
And it does
head.
definitely take the zombie idea
Jimmy,
into a different direction.
YouTube algorithms won't let me talk about the scene in full, but all I'm going to say is a severed head giving head.
Yeah.
Like when you get to that kind of scene, you're just like, okay, we're we're doing this now, then, are we?
Yeah,
Okay,
we're going this way with this. Okay.
okay, let's continue. So, speaking of continuing, Jimmy, let's get on to the scores. You can go first.
4 out of 5. It wasn't fresh enough.
I'm going to go with 4.5 sentient intestines out of 5.
I thought you'd go for something like that. That is a very good scene, though. That is one of the better ones.
Yes, excuse me, folks, for the coughing. I am still suffering with a very sore throat, and going out the other night did not help. But anyway, moving on to our next film. This one was chosen because it features the first on-screen kiss of a certain Enterprise captain. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute.
There's a ship in the background.
We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in a minute. The certain captain of the Enterprise, pre-Enterprise, I will point that out, with another quite famous actor. We're going to talk about Life Force. Life Force was originally released June 21st, 1985. This is kind of on par for us, really.
Yeah.
Budget 25 million. Box office 11.6. It was a bit of a flop.
Yeah, it was a flop.
Starring Steve Railsback, Peter Firth, Frank Finlay, Matilda May, and a short appearance by Patrick Stewart.
Yes.
Yes, which is why we picked this film, because as soon as I mentioned it to Jim, I was like, did you know the little bit of trivia? And he was like, okay, watching it.
I'd heard about this trivia a few times, and it was like when you mentioned this film,
Yeah.
right, with the just so that we can keep things in for the HP Lovecraft, it's because of the publisher, August Derleth, challenged the writer who wrote the book that then became this film.
Yes. Which I think I believe was called Space Vampires.
The Vampires from Space.
Vampires from Space. There we go.
This film is literally Vampires from Space.
But Life Force just sounds so much.
Yeah, it sounds so much better. Life Force.
Yes, yes. But I have seen this film repeatedly. To cover the plot very, very quickly, um, the space shuttle Churchill is in an Earth orbit.
Tongue
Sorry, I
tied.
forgot. I forgot how to English just then.
Okay. It is an English film, though.
Three, two, one. Carry on.
There we
In
go.
Earth orbit, as Halley's Comet is approaching. As the comet is approaching, right in the very far end of the tail of the comet, they find a ship,
Yeah.
a massive, fuck off alien ship that kind of looks a little bit like asparagus.
Yes.
Not gonna lie, it looks like a bit of
It is
asparagus.
1985 special effects and thoughts on that ship. So, yeah.
So, and believe it or not, this is very, very alien. They are ordered to board the ship and see what they can find. What they
Finally.
find is three naked humanoid creatures, a woman and two males. The woman played by Matilda May, and the one of the lead astronauts played by Steve Rasbach.
Yeah.
We don't know what happens. They lose all contact with Churchill. They send a rescue vessel up,
Because that's what you do.
as you do,
As you do.
and they find that the Churchill has been set on fire from the inside, but in perfect condition in the bay at the back. The three creatures are still in perfect condition, and the escape pod is missing. They take the creatures back to Earth, and they realize all too late
Yeah.
these are vampires from space that feed on your life force, hence the
Literally.
title of
Hence the title.
Life Force. This was directed by Toby Hooper, who, if you know your horror knowledge, was the director and writer of one of our favorite franchises over here, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So that's the rough outline of the plot. Jimmy, having seen this for the first time in 2025, what did you think?
I thought this was very much the same. It became a cult film.
It did,
It was not
despite it
received
flopping.
well at the time.
Yes, that's kind of a theme here. We are definitely covering a lot of the cult classics.
Yeah, a lot of the cult classics are coming up with this. And again, it's like the premise is outlandish, which is partly what
When
sold
you,
it for
the minute
that,
you say,
apart from the cameo, obviously, of Patrick Stewart, or
but I
should
mean,
I say
when you're
Sir Patrick Stewart, but
when you're trying to talk to into people who've never seen this film, never heard
yeah,
anything about it, when you're trying to talk them into watching it,
yeah, it's a selling point.
you have to be like, okay, right, so just hear me out. You have to
Yeah,
start with that. Hear me out, right? It's about these vampires
it's
from
from
space
space
that walk around naked for most of the screen
most of the time.
time,
Yeah,
and they drain people of their life force. Hence why it's called Life Force.
Life Force.
If
Yeah,
you can get past the fact that it's vampires from space, you're in for a good time.
yeah.
That's
And if
all I
you
can
are a
really say.
Trekkie, if you are a Trekkie and want to see Patrick Stewart acting
Yes,
chops in something else other than X-Men,
yes. And like I said, this is actually his first recorded on-screen
Screen
kiss.
Kiss. Yeah,
Patrick Stewart had done a lot of theatre
yeah.
before this movie, but this was his first
First on screen.
on-screen kiss on a film, TV show, whatever,
Yeah,
off Broadway. It was his first
yeah.
kiss off Broadway. And
And to be honest,
first kiss
those were the selling points. It's like it's a batshit crazy film enough that
yeah,
okay, I'm interested in the premise and how they're going to do this. It's either going to be
yeah. And
disappointing or not.
that kiss is shared with Steve Railsback
Yeah,
because the lead female vampire is in love with Steve Railsback's character. And at that moment in time, she is possessing Patrick Stewart's character. Hence
yeah,
why they snog.
yeah, yeah. It is a bit of a
It's a bit of
loop
a
and
wait,
thought
what?
with yeah, it's a bit of a loop and joint and thought and that
Yeah.
and it does. And sadly we only watched the one cut where that is unfortunately cut out of.
Yeah, you see him go to kiss, and then it cuts to another scene,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
that that is my disappointing thing for viewing this particular cut of
Yes,
this particular film.
unfortunately, because we watched it on, was it Prime we watched it?
Prime, it was on Prime.
Yes, this is the problem. When I watched it on Netflix, it
It's
was
yeah, which it's sadly not
the
there
Euro
anymore because I've looked
what's
for it.
it's what's known as the European cut.
Yeah,
That was the version that I'd originally watched with the longer intro, certain longer scenes here or there. What we had on Prime was unfortunately the American theatrical version, which rather than take its time to build everything up, it's just silent text scroll
yeah,
and then, oh, look, they found the ship. Whereas in the version I watched, the European version, there is about an extra 10 minutes
yeah.
of them actually getting onto the ship, working their way through it. You get more interior shots of the alien craft. So it is worth watching them in
Having
one.
watched this particular cut, this is a film I would rewatch, and I am
You want
trying
to
to
get the
see.
extended, yes.
Yeah, I would get. So I will watch this again, and this is definitely I would recommend watching it if you definitely if you're interested. Anything that if you're into anything vampires, if you're into Star Trek, if you're anything, this is just
Again,
good
with
little
this
film. It's
film,
a good little tale. It's a bit alternative for definite,
yeah,
and
and
it is
another thing to
cult for a
point
reason.
out, with it is the practical effects are fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean the budget obviously because it had a big budget,
Oh
which
yeah,
is why it's a flop. It was a big budget film that unfortunately didn't make that big budget back.
I think it's one that's due a remake. In all
Yeah,
honesty,
you know what? Thinking about it, it would be interesting to have that back. And I mean, Patrick Stewart's still around. You could have him pop
update
up as a cameo.
update the special effects,
Yeah, and update.
that
Yeah,
kind of thing.
we can modify it a little bit,
Yeah,
not too much, just enough.
yeah,
And you get away with a remake for this. It's a good film, to be honest. It does
yeah.
tell a good
It's
tale.
got a good epic feel to it
Yeah,
because it sort of cuts from one scene to the next, and then by the time you're in that final half an hour, spoilers here, unfortunately, skip forward a couple of minutes. The devastation of London in that
yeah,
final act of the film. Wow.
yeah.
Fucking wow.
No, they're still like that's the thing about older. I've noticed when I was a kid and still growing up and still coming across them. The 70s films, a disaster film was a disaster film, and they've sort of lost that as things have gone on.
Yeah, they've
This was at the
softened the
period of
edges.
time they're still trying to do that occasional
Yeah, yeah.
disaster thing.
It feels like a
Yeah,
lot of edges have been softened over the years. I don't
yeah,
know whether that's because on a societal level we've become sort of slightly desensitized to that kind
yeah.
of thing. So now, or maybe they've trimmed it.
Maybe sometimes it cuts a
I
bit too
don't know.
close to the bone and is a bit too real because of things
Yeah,
that
but
are going on. But
I think in some ways the more real a film is with its
yeah,
impact and its scope, the more you show
yeah.
that
And
that
this
can
is
be
one of these
scary.
films. I think this is one of these that should be revisited. It was a flop at the time, but I think with
Yeah.
a bit of a brush and polish, this
With the
one could
right
be,
person, with the right person writing and
yeah,
directing it, I think could
yeah,
be very, very well done.
yeah. It would be very well done, I think. And honestly, this is just a good film to watch. So first
Hell
view.
yeah.
So shall we move to the scores for
We
this
will
one?
shall do the scores. You can go first.
I am going. It's slightly lower than the first one. It's 3.5 face melts
Out of five.
out
Okay.
of 5.
I'm going to go with four naked Matilda Mays out of five.
Oh, you can't go wrong with that one either.
Your face, the minute she popped up on that screen, says
Yeah,
you.
I understand that she's going to be a much older woman now, but
I don't know. I've seen some recent pictures. I think she might actually be a vampire.
I might have to look up a more modernized photo of her because I haven't done that.
Right.
But we'll see. Moving
Moving on.
forward.
On that note, let me just tuck my belt back into my skirt. On that note, moving forward,
Moving forward.
jumping back a little bit in time here. We're going to go with a remake of a 50s B movie classic,
Yeah.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Original release December 22nd, 1978.
Yeah. So this is all of the other ones on our list.
Yes. Budget, I couldn't find one.
Neither could I. I
Yeah,
can't help you out. I couldn't find one either.
but box office 24.9 million.
Oh, no. I can help you out.
What?
I managed to find one budget. One.
One
And it
there,
was 350,000. It was a low budget film,
but still
but still
24.9 million in the
0.9
box
million
office
bucks.
I've got here. So we'll go with
Don't
that.
quote me on that, but I did. It took me a while to find as well.
But this film stars Donald Sutherland, Brooke Adams, Jeffrey Goldblum, Veronica Cartwright, and one of Jimmy's all-time favorites, his lemon Nimoy pie himself,
Because
Dr.
we got
Bob Leonard Nimoy.
Leonard Nimoy.
Not a cameo, it is definitely a supporting role.
Definitely a supporting role.
He's in and out of the film quite a bit.
Yeah.
But Invasion of the Body Snatchers, do I need to cover the plot for Invasion of the Body Snatchers for any of the fans out there? Probably not. You've probably seen it. So we're just going to jump straight over to Jimmy. Your thoughts on this film, first ever viewing, which I don't know how.
This has been on a watch list in the back of my memory for a long, long time.
This
And has
film,
been held back from me by my father, amongst others, and various other things
well,
going on.
after giving it a view in 2025 for the first time, what do you think of this chef's kiss masterpiece in my opinion?
I'm gonna do a guy and keep it very effing brilliant.
Effing
Just,
brilliant.
just it's brilliant film. It's
Well
got a
paced.
hmm?
It's well paced.
It's well paced. It's got a cracking little story to it. Not to spoil anything, but the ending's brilliant.
Bleak as fuck, but
It's
brilliant.
bleak as fuck, but brilliant. The acting. I mean, this is a film that we've got Jeff Goldblum.
A
This is one of his earliest roles, from
very
what I
young
can
Jeff
find.
Goldblum. Yeah, and Veronica Cartwright. This is literally the year before she appeared in Alien as Lambert.
Yeah,
So it's
and
around the
then
time
and
that a
then you've
lot of these
got
actors were taking off.
yeah, and then you've got the main character played by Donald Sutherland,
Uh,
who is no longer with us,
I know.
right?
Another two in this film. There's two legends that are no longer with us.
And the other legend, the one we mentioned right at the beginning, Leonard Nimoy.
That's what I said. Two.
Yeah,
Donald
two
Donald
legends.
Sutherland and Len
Donald,
Nimoy.
yeah, Donald and
God
Leonard.
rest
And
their
this is
souls.
probably one of the in my little research, the reason why Leonard's in this is because he had become typecast at that point for his
Yes,
obvious most famous role ever.
Spock. Yes, he wanted to
Yeah.
break away from that.
And
Yeah.
this was an attempt to help him break away a little from that.
Well, for you as a fan of Spock and a fan of Leonard
I
Nimoy,
just love Leonard.
did you think this was a good enough shift for him?
At the very beginning of the film, very much so, but for obvious plot reasons, I can understand why he was put in this role. For
Because he
various
knew,
plot reasons I don't wish to go into, because if you are watching this for the first time, you
yeah.
are either very young or you are like me and have had it removed from your watch list and keep forgetting it. And honestly, I just recommend going and getting
In
it.
some ways, though, I think that's a credit to it that
Yeah,
didn't
in
they didn't go the other
1978,
way.
this I would like to watch the original too as well now to
Yeah,
see
well, as I
that.
said to you, there is one scene where the guy who comes running in and bangs on the car windows, they're coming. That is actually the guy who played
Yeah,
Sutherland's character in the original
that
version.
is
So
it's Kevin McCarthy. I've got the. I
yes,
actually decided I researched
you researched this one. Oh,
this. I went and this is how much the film did. I actually researched this one. So the running man's Kevin McCarthy. He played Dr. Miles Bennell from the original, which
Yeah,
obviously Donald Sutherland's Matthew Bennell
yeah, the health inspector. Yeah.
is the tie-in.
Do you know what, right? I want to talk about this very briefly while we've got this film up at the
Yeah,
moment, right? Because this, as we pointed out on more than one occasion, is a remake, right? There are a generation of people who grew up and watched this when it first came out in the cinema, right? And they actually refer to this as the original 1978 version. I myself, for a long time, thought that it was the original version of it. It
yeah.
wasn't until upon viewing it one Halloween with my father that he pointed out, I was like, no, this is a remake.
This is a remake.
Like the Thing that we watched before. I was like, oh yeah, the Thing, love that film. He's like, that's a remake. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
so this is why I have decided now I'm going to cut remakes slack.
yeah,
There might not be for me the remakes that are coming out now, but
yeah.
there's a generation of people who, when they get to my age, are going to remember seeing the remake of one of my favorite films in the cinema
Yeah.
and loving that version of it, but not liking the original.
Yeah,
That's fine. It's generational.
it
And
is
I'm
a
glad that things
generational
keep
thing.
going like that. So if Hollywood wants to remake shit, I'm on the remake. I've been
You've
hypnotized.
finally been converted
I've
a
been
little bit.
converted to the remake train. I'm all aboard it now. Okay, there's certain films you should not remake,
There are
or
certain things you shouldn't touch.
like The Crow. It's out
Yeah,
on streaming services now. I still haven't watched it because I've got my version of The Crow, the Brendan Lee version of The
yeah.
Crow. I don't need the new version. It doesn't
Keeping
interest me.
keeping with your mild tangent, and after having a conversation with a colleague at work, I did decide to watch the remake. I will save you the time. Don't bother.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I've heard. So I've gone, you know what?
No, I've
I don't
watched.
even need to.
I honestly, let's put it this way. You know my thoughts on a particular film, and it was the previous last entry. This is where,
Oh God, no.
if you thought that one was bad, I would watch that fourth entry over this fifth entry
Oh no. Oh no.
because at
Oh,
least that one keeps something of it.
okay. Fucking hell, it must be bad.
Yeah,
But right then, shall we do the scores, Mr.
scores on the doors.
Clifford?
I'm going to use two references because I've got to.
Go on
It's
then.
4.5 out of 5. It's only logical. And that scream. Yeah.
Can't do it with my throat right now, but I was able to do it perfectly the fucking
Yeah.
night we watched it and you shit yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, I'm going to give it rare one for me. I'm going to go with 5
Ooh, we're getting a few of these.
hobo-faced dogs
Oh,
out of
yeah.
5. You know
I
the bit
will
I'm
take it.
talking about. Because even that
Yes.
made you go, wait, what? What happened there?
Body snatching gone wrong.
You were like, wait, what? Wait.
Oops. Yeah.
So yes, 5 out of 5 for me. Moving on then swiftly to our last film of the night. Again, this we're doing Star Trekky actors here. We're
And
circling
if you
it.
know your references,
We're
you'll get
swinging
the
it back
joke.
round. We're swinging it back round. Another H.P. Lovecraft story. We are going to go this time with From Beyond, which was originally released October 24th, 1986. Budget of 2.5 million, box office 1.2 million. So not complete flop, but didn't make
No.
no. So it didn't get
Sadly.
yes. Starring Jeffrey Combs,
If you know, you know.
yeah, Barbara Crampton, Ken Foree, and Ted Sorrell. Now, the story of this film, for the uninitiated, about From Beyond, is I can't remember the name of Jeffrey Combs's character, but he is working with a Dr. Pretorius on a machine called the Resonator that uses vibration.
Pause.
Pause.
Dr. Crawford Tillinghast.
That was it. That was the bit I couldn't remember Tillinghast. Right. Anyway, yes.
Moving forward, folks.
Dr. Tillinghast and Dr. Pretorius are working on the Resonator, a machine that uses vibrational functions to allow to stimulate the human pineal gland in the brain so that we can see other spectrums of reality, basically. And the first thing you see is these weird, eely, tadpoley, fishy thingies swimming around. And Jeffrey Combs gets chomped on the face,
Yeah.
switches the machine off in a panic, runs down to tell his colleague, Dr. Pretorius, that the machine works.
The main man.
Yeah, the guy who's, funding
Right
it.
in charge.
Yeah. He then runs upstairs in his silky nightgown and underwear, which is just a bit weird, really.
He's a bit odd.
Yeah, he's a bit
odd.
Got a bit of a kink. But he runs in and he turns the machine all the way up. And then there's lots of screaming, lots of shouting. And next thing you know, you see Tillinghast running down the path. His neighbors screaming their head off, saying he's a murderer. We cut back to the scene in the room with the resonator. And Dr. Pretorius has no head. But it doesn't look like it's been cut off. It looks like it's been twisted off.
Yeah. Any plans on being the head of a corporation?
Yeah. They say you got to have a good head on your shoulders, and
Yeah.
his is now somewhere floating in the beyond. Hence, from beyond. What ensues is an investigation by the police and a psychiatrist played by Bob Crampton to find out whether Tillinghast is insane, telling the truth, and if he is telling the truth, what really lies beyond? What can we learn by observing reality on another level of perception?
Yeah.
Basically, it's just an excuse for Barbara Crampton to get dressed up in kink gear, but let's just go with it anyway. She was kind of an 80s icon. If you were, if you were into these kind of films, Barbara Crampton is a name you will know.
Yeah.
But I've seen this film multiple times and I absolutely love this film just because of the practical effects, the general story and vibe, and how colourful this film is. When the resonators
It's very colourful.
Everything goes very like vibrant pinks and purples and shades of red, and it's such a colourful horror movie, which is why coming up in the Halloween episode, we've chosen another H.P. Lovecraft inspired story. But
Yeah.
more on that.
I do love my HP.
More on that next week. But moving it over to Jimmy, first viewing for you in 2025. What did you think of From Beyond?
So, as he's yet again, he's playing, the man who plays Shran, Brunt,
There we go.
Wayoon, a whole bunch of it. Yeah, again, he's playing a very similar but with a twist character from the Reanimator. That's what I got from this film. They are made close together. They're made by the same sort of guys.
Yes.
But he is this one. I actually personally preferred this one.
He's more of I wouldn't say in Reanimator he was so much of a bad guy. It's more he had a singular-minded focus.
Yeah.
To achieve
in this one, he is kind of playing the hapless.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to go back and fix.
Yeah, it's like initially. It's like initially he was all for the research, and then things were starting to. Then he realised who the boss really was,
and he shouldn't have. He shouldn't.
And
have
he started to, and Barbara Crampton's playing a very different character in.
Oh yeah, starts off as a psychiatrist, and then he just ends up as a nymph.
Yeah, and
because of the resonator.
Because of the resonator and certain side effects that Matt may employ, she does start becoming somewhat, and the fact that this has got Ken 4, Ken 3.
I love how the side effect, as you put it, is pointed out by a brilliantly portrayed part by Ken Faree, who. A lot of people might know him from Kenan and Kel for playing the dad. I know him as Peter from Dawn of the Dead.
One of the Dead.
But he plays Bubba in this movie,
Yeah.
and he's the one who goes, "Am I the only one that's fucking horny?" He just
Yeah, no, he is the one pointed. He is the hapless security guy. She's supposed to be
he's the cop,
professional, keeping an eye on the guy who's been put behind jail.
but she's the one causing the trouble.
She ends up being one that causing the trouble, and
Yeah,
the hap Jeffrey Combs is playing this hapless character who's gone from one boss to the other boss, and he's just trying to get out of
he's
Dodge.
supposed to get the fuck out of Dodge, but
Yeah,
that's it.
and it's brilliantly played. The story beats and everything about this.
It
This is the
very is.
HP that I don't have in that collection. So
Yeah,
I would like to get a hold of
unfortunately.
it at some point. And yeah, I actually preferred this one a lot for its visual effects are great.
Yeah,
Its practical effects are great. Right? It is an older film. It still holds up in 2025, right? To a decent degree, right?
yeah,
As
it
long
does.
as if you go in knowing you're watching a film that 1986, it's nearly 40.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Right,
frightening. Yeah.
it's nearly 40. Yeah, it's nearly that age. It's the same age as I am. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you're watching it for the first time. If you give it the credit it's due that they are going to be
Oh,
limited
yeah.
to
Well,
that technology,
see,
they put the effort in on the practical effects and
and this
such.
is why I've said on more than one occasion on this show is that I think more and more now, as we've got like, ultra
Yeah,
realistic
yeah, because
CGI in films, I think these older films with their older effects now give off a more retro comic book vibe
yeah,
than modern day comic book movies
yeah,
do.
yeah.
And I kind of, like I said
This
about
one's, and
about
as
the
we mentioned,
colors,
this one's very colourful.
like I said, the colors in this one, like that, as soon as the resonator goes on and
Yeah,
everything just changes to this shade of pink, but
yeah.
it's not just one shade of pink because it's cascading off of everything else. So
It's multiple shades.
yeah, and it's a feast for the eyes. It really is, and I appreciate watching these films a lot more now than I did before. And
Yeah,
it's because I've noticed things like that the effects they used at the time give it this very otherworldly feeling that I don't think we get with CGI
no, you
anymore.
don't. No,
Or
it's
we very
certain things are a
rarely get
lost
it.
art that they are just starting to potentially
Yeah.
rediscover a little bit. In
That's what I said. We very rarely get it in
yeah,
CGI these days,
yeah,
especially in horror.
yeah. And it is just a generally it's a very good film. It's definitely worthy of the cult classic status.
Hmm.
It is definitely one I would recommend watching.
Oh yeah, if you've never seen this film, definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Tony.
If it's on that unicorn, definitely get round
It
to this
probably
one.
is somewhere. It's probably
Probably.
somewhere out on that massive
Then again, he
unicorn
might
job of his.
surprise us and say he's actually watched this at some point.
Well, maybe. We never know. If he gets back
We
to
never
us.
know with Tony.
Yeah. Fingers crossed he's watched it. But right then, I think we should roll on to the scores and get ready to close the doors.
Scores on the doors. 4 out of 5. 4.5 out of 5.
Oh, go on then.
You're wearing that.
I said to get dressed. That's not what I meant.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with, going to match your 4.5, but I'm going to go with weird worm creatures in the basement that when they grab hold of you, somehow remove your hair and eyebrows.
Yeah. Facial shave
Yeah,
101.
don't strip your skin or nothing, just the hair.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought that was going to go worse than it did.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he's gonna like get chewed up. No, he just comes out bald.
Comes out looking like a Star Trek a Star Trek character.
Yeah. Right, my sweet tortured souls, that is it for tonight's episode. Star Trek actors appearing in horror movies.
Alongside H.P. Lovecraft.
Yes, it started off as a Lovecraft, but then we had that spark of brilliance. Went, yeah, let's do that instead. So we quickly stuck in 2 other films and went, there we go. But right, coming up next week, it's a Halloween episode. And Jimmy's going to learn what the rule of escalation really fucking means.
There may
I
be a no
started out
clause.
fairly tame. We started out fairly tame for our Halloween episode. But the final movie that I have in line, I think Jimmy's gonna nope out of.
Yeah,
And
there may be a no clause employed.
I've given him permission that he gets a one-time use only. Nope, I'm not watching the rest of
I
this
wasn't
movie.
aware of a one-time usage only.
Oh,
Oh, Christ.
it's a one-time deal. You can nope out of one film per season, and that is
Oh, one, all right. Oh, that's the call. One per season,
one per
folks.
season.
This may be the one.
Yeah, but Jimmy, you do realize that if you nope out of one and I bring up something worse, you can't nope out of it. You have to endure it.
Yeah, I know. I
So
understand the clause.
I'm thinking maybe for the start of season two, we go with a series run through of I Spit on Your Grave.
I'm not sure if I want Scarlet back at this point.
I live to torture you. That is my purpose.
And torture you, torture me, you shall. Because I've got a feeling for the last one.
You open the box, we came.
Yes.
But right, on that
those
bombshell, my sweet tortured souls, it's time to say goodnight, Jim.
Good night, Jim.
Good night, my sweet tortured souls. And remember, if you can't be good, be twisted. Don't get mad, baby. Get sadistic. Mwah. Love ya. See you next episode. Bye.